Welcome to the Business of Beauty, where we help beauty entrepreneurs in building their business and reaching their dreams. This is your host, David Lee. Our guest today provides all-around beauty treatments from relaxing facials to hair regrowth treatments. She is proud of not giving into fear and believing in herself to follow her goals and of starting her business. In only a year of starting her business, she was already booked. Her superpower is being able to make people laugh, even if they're having a bad day. So welcome to the show, Andrea Gonzales at Dre Aesthetics.
Hey everyone, pleasure to be here with you, David. Thank you so much for having me. Hope you're having a fabulous day.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually a beautiful day today over here.
Beautiful.
I guess my first burning question is, how did you come up with the name?
My name, I know. Well, it's not Dr. Aesthetic.
Okay.
Definitely not Dr. Aesthetic. I wish. It's actually Dre Aesthetic. So okay. My name, I get called Dre. I figured I'm in the aesthetics industry.
Yeah.
You know, I want it to be me, like Drea's philosophy of aesthetics, the way of life, the way of health, you know, just everything aesthetically pleasing.
Very cool. Nice. And it's nice to have a story behind the name. It's purposeful too.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about, let's start with your business, you know, what you offer, and then let's go back in time. Okay.
So yeah, I offer everything. So I offer from lips, a lip enhancement. It's non-invasive. I offer facials for rejuvenation, for acne treatments, for wrinkles. I offer hair rejuvenation for people who, you know, may have thinning hair, could be from hormones or work or stress. And I offer just a relaxing good time, you know. I'm there to make people feel good, let that stress, you know, be gone for just that hour that I'm with them. And that's the most important thing. I want everyone to feel comfortable and to feel better than what they came in.
Nice. And who are your typical clientele? Like mostly male, mostly female, age group?
Right now, my clientele is mainly female from ages, I would say 20 to 35. Okay. So I kind of right in the middle. I'm an old soul, so I get along with older crowd a lot. They trust me. But yeah, I love the young crowd. I love the more mature crowd. Like, everyone's so fun to work with. I love a variety.
Very cool. Now let's kind of go back in time. Now, how did you get started in the business? I know like you shared with me, and with the intro, you know, you started the business, and in only a year you were pretty much fully booked, right?
Yeah.
So love to hear your journey. But before that, how did you get started? Why did you decide to get into this business, to this industry?
Yeah, so I've been a diva since birth. Like, that's just the honest truth. I've always loved to be glam and fabulous, but I got suckered into the safety net, and I went to school for marketing, and I wanted to work in corporate America and, you know, have that regular 9 to 5. And
did you have an Asian parent? Because that's what my Asian parents said to me.
You know, it's so funny. I always get asked if I'm Asian. I'm actually not.
I'm full Latin. Oh, hey, but, you know, it's all good, you know.
Yeah.
It sounds very, very similar too. You know, go to school, get good grades, right?
Yes.
Go get a nice, cushy, especially a corporate job. If you didn't make it to law school, or if you didn't become a lawyer, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Same process.
Yeah. So, you know, I went to college, and I got my bachelor's in marketing, and I was always more of the fun side of business. I didn't want to be so serious. I wanted to show my art and my skills, and I wanted to interact with people. I didn't want to be in the office life, you know, all the time. But, you know, I got an internship while I was in college. And as soon as I graduated, I was hired full-time, hired as a manager, and I was there for 5 years. And I was just tired of working on other people's terms. I was tired of people messing with my money. Not that money is the important thing, but you know, when you're working so hard for someone, you want what you deserve. So I was like, Drea, I have to think of something. Like, I have to think of something. And so I started with facial oils and making my own and facial soaps, like organic soaps.
Yeah.
And
when was this from a time frame, like year wise?
This was actually last year. I would say January, February.
Okay. So 2019.
Like, so I was like, I've had enough. At that point, I was like, I have enough. I had enough. Yeah. So I seen this ad on Instagram for a beauty school. Yeah. And it was to do lips. Non-invasive. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. No needles. And you get big lips. Like, this is awesome. Yeah. I want this. So I called them. I went within the week. And it was just, I knew that this was going to be my new journey. Like right away. I knew it. And I went with it. So I paid for the course. And within a week, they called me and they're like, hey, Drea, did you register for your esthetician class? Because it shows that you're not registered yet. And I was like, huh? I was like, you guys did not tell me that I had to sign up for a class, you know? Yeah. So I found an esthetician school and I went through the first day and they gave me 14 days, to drop out with the full refund. Yeah. But I absolutely fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. I was never able to find my peace and my happiness, I would say, until I took this course. Yeah. It really made me feel good inside and it brought me that inner peace. So I went with it. Yeah. But did it feel like for once you're like, I'm making this decision on my own? No one else is telling me to, do this or do that. This is the decision that I can actually make myself, and I'm enjoying it. Exactly. And I've always known I wanted to do a business and run a business. Yeah. I just didn't know exactly what. Yeah. So when I got this opportunity, I was like, done deal. I'm in. Yeah. My job was able to work with me. I was still working full-time, going to school full-time. Oh, wow. Yeah. I was working, doing the lip thing. Like, it's possible. Yeah. So can we dive in a little bit deeper in that? Like what was your day and your week like? Going from working, did you work a full 9 to 5, 40-hour work week? And then what was it like taking classes? And did you have also clients at that time too? So yes, for all three of those, my schedule was 8 to 1. I was going to school Monday through Friday. I'm sorry, Tuesday through Saturday, I was going to school. Okay. And I would work Monday through Friday. So my school was from 8 to 1, and then I would go to work right away. And I would work till like 7 or 8 at night. And I would say I designated maybe 4 nights out of the week to attend to my clients. So I was really, really busy, very, very busy. And how long did you have this schedule for? So I was in school for about 7 months. So I was almost a year. Yeah. 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 So it was pretty crazy. Yeah. So now we're in July, right? August, right? Time period. So you're out of school. Now you were still working at your day job. Yeah. Did you decide at that point, okay, I have enough? Did you quit your day job and focus on your business at that time, or did you wait? So as soon as I was done with school, I had to get my license, but right away I had a friend, who had faith in me, and she was like, hey, I'm the manager at the salon. If you want to come work, it's open for you. Nice. So here I go, getting a second job. Yeah. I was working in the morning from 8 to 12:30 or so, and then I would go to work at 1 to 7. Yeah, yeah. So I was still very, very busy. And at that point, I was just, I'm the happiest I've ever been, honestly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to everything that's going on,
Yeah.
I lost my job, my day job.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I've been through it all. This year has been crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
But
been crazy.
the thing is, you know, like, you know what it takes, you know, to build from with essentially nothing, right? Starting a business with 0 clients, with nothing, not, you know, going through school, full-time job, having that crazy schedule, right?
Yeah.
So if you can survive that, and especially if you can survive these crazy times, you'll be able to take on anything that comes at you. Right?
Exactly. And that's the perspective I had to have. And I did have, I was like, you know what? It's going to be okay. Like, now is my time. This is like a break for me to regroup and regather everything and really, really build and, you know, modify my business the way exactly I want it to be ran. And hopefully by next year, you know, I'll have my own little spot or something.
Okay. Okay. So you're right now, or actually in around July, August time, you were working with your friend, right? At her location. Did you end up getting your license?
Yes, I did. I got my license. Got my license. Super happy. Super stressed. I probably lost like 10 pounds that day from sweating. Jeez. But I did it, and you know, it was awesome. I was super happy. I knew that was another chapter, you know, page flip in my life.
So now after that, did you work under your friend's brand company, or did you break off and have your own brand?
So I was working still under Dre Aesthetic. All I did was rent the room. I made it mine.
Okay.
So it was still all me. It was just
so it's like a sublease.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, nice. So you're building your clientele there. At that time, you're still doing your day job, right? Your full-time job.
Well, hopefully if they call me back to work.
That's all right. But hey, you know, who knows, right? You know, you might be so busy doing this, you might not have time, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the plan. Definitely is to separate from that and focus more on myself.
Yeah. So now you're going through the fall, and what was the fall and the winter like? You know, was business picking up at that time?
It was great. I was super busy. I was working 4 mornings out of the week, and I probably had 3 or 4 people every day. Jeez. And it's awesome. It really is. It went really, really well, and that's why I'm really excited for all this to pass, to be able to, you know, go back and work.
What was the most difficult part of that? You know, going through that, you know, like working during that time.
It was just, it was frustrating because, you know, I was a manager and I did have a team under me. And I was just so focused on everybody else's problems and mistakes and worried about them, like babying them and making sure, because it all fell on me. And I was just like, man, if I could do this for all these people and make sure that all these people are in track, then I should be able to do this for myself. But I think that was the most difficult for me, is just putting all that time and energy into fixing and making sure everyone else was good rather than myself in my life.
So now we'll fast forward a few more months later. Around March hits, right? We're spring, so everything's going well, right? And then all of a sudden, now at what point did you start hearing about this, you know, this virus going around? You know, did you think it was going to affect you that as much as, you know, it has, you know, with the world today?
I really didn't. It was actually a crazy story. My parents were actually out of the country when they were going to close the borders, so we were freaking out. And I was like, oh no. I was like, and then they started laying off people at my job. And I'm just, oh my God, both these horrible things happening. And I honestly didn't think it was going to affect me because I had been there for 5 years. But anything is possible.
Yeah.
And it did. So I remember I got the call and they called me to the office, and I was like, but I was at peace, I was like, this is not this is out of my control. I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to keep moving forward.
Yeah. So, yeah. What do they say? Like, when life gives you lemons, right? You make lemonade, right?
Make lemonade or margaritas.
Right. Or margaritas. Yes, even better. Yeah. And I've heard so many of these types of stories where it wasn't their initial plan of, oh, I'm going to start a business, but I'm going to make a smooth transition. It was really more of a forceful one. They're like, yeah, we got let go, we got laid off, and now I need some sort of income. And you know what? I had this idea of starting a business in my back pocket. I guess I'll just pull it out now and start working on it. So there's so many of those types of stories. And but in your case, you were at a few steps ahead. You already got your license. You were already doing, starting your business already. You had clients. So very
I'm
cool.
super thankful that I got ahead of the curve, because I feel people who are trying to get their life in order and business in order this year, it's like we picked the wrong year. Yeah.
I think and for those that are watching, don't feel like it's impossible to start a business now. As a matter of fact, here are my thoughts. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I would say, if you were going to start a business, sure, it would have been great if you started last year and you built up a client base, right? And you had a foundation. But it doesn't mean you can't start a business now. Now, the worst time you probably could have started a business was in the beginning of this year, probably in February. Yeah. That's probably the absolute worst time to start. And if you invested a lot of money in February and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I need to recoup that cost, that's probably it would have been the worst time. But now it's not bad, because now we're at home, where we get to do a lot more research. You can see how the business, the economics, the business landscape is changing. So then we can apply your understanding of that with the new landscape, instead of trying to redo, because some of these businesses have been around for a very, very long time. And the problem with that is they're stuck, right, in their older ways. So now a lot of businesses are agile, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's completely true. And I completely agree with you on that. I just feel if you're going to do a business now, you just have to make the adjustments to be, extra clean, extra sanitary, extra safe, and which is no big deal. You should be doing that anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel that people shouldn't be scared. You should take this time to write your business plan, really solidify what your business is going to be, what your mission statement is going to be, your goals. And even if it's just one post a day, one post every other day, start to, show yourself, expose yourself to people. And once you are ready in a couple months, people are gonna be like, hey, they've been around for a couple months, they were still working through this pandemic, and that's what it's about, and that's what I hope people take advantage of, that with all this time on their hands, really do what they want to do in life.
Yeah. Now, so kind of going back to where we were, so at what point did you realize, oh man, this is real? Like people are getting laid off. What really hit home for you?
What really hit home is when I had to apply for unemployment. I was like, I never thought this day would come. You know what I mean?
What is this?
What is this? Like, I was so used to working so hard and working. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is really happening. This is really happening right now. And then my mom gets denied. So I'm like, oh no, I better not get denied. But that's when it really, really hit home for me, I would say. It was definitely an eye-opener.
Yeah. So applying for unemployment. Now, what happened to your clients? What did you do anything different? Did you let them know, like, oh, I can't service them, or like what did you do for your clients during that time?
So I definitely kept them in the loop. I posted some videos to let them know, unfortunately, that, I will be closing down temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
But I would always offer any advice through direct message, or if they wanted to just call, offer some advice virtually. And I just let them know, that the people who did book with me during these months already, I would offer them, a discount to, for their patience and cooperation, because it's, it's kind of, you kind of feel helpless, but definitely still try to help the way you can.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Now what's your game plan, right? Like, now where are you located? Like, what state are you in?
I'm in California.
You're in California. So let's see, they're still on lockdown, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and California was the first state to get locked down.
Yeah,
so
very much so still on lockdown.
Yeah. So what's your game plan when they open up?
Get right back to work. As soon as they give us a date, I'm gonna, call up all of my clients that booked, and I'm gonna just start booking them. And there's a lot of people, surprisingly, they still want to look pretty and feel good, so they're like, screw this pandemic, like I want my face done.
Well,
I'll get to you soon.
So I had a guest actually in the previous episode, and she said that really the reason for that, it's like, we're in a tough time. There's a lot of emotions going on, so they want that good feeling of having their face done. So sure, they might not be seeing anyone, they might be stuck at a house, right, in the house, but just getting it done, it makes them feel good, and that's definitely it's important.
Oh yeah, definitely. They miss these magic hands. What can I say?
Exactly. So now, as soon as they announce this is the day that the lockdown will be over, you're going to be calling all your clients, scheduling a time and date. Now, what about in the future? Like, what's your plan for your business in the next, 6, 12, even, the next 2-3 years out?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to hustle, save as much money as I can.
Yeah.
And I want to eventually open up my own, little studio, and hopefully, have different rooms. Hopefully, have some great people on board with me, who have the same mindset and vision, and just, get it going, because that was the whole point of this, was to work on my terms and have my freedom. And, I want to be able to build something from the bottom up. And that's hopefully will happen within the year or so.
Now, do you have any concerns with, now with this, with this virus, it's really changed like the world and how people view, especially with like social distancing. Do you worry about, getting less customers or less people in the door because of their fear of because in what you do, you're very hands-on. There's, so
very close.
You're very close.
It worried me at first. It really did, because like you said, we're very, very much in close, contact. My face is pretty much like on top of theirs. My hands are, in their mouth, and it was scary at first, but that's what estheticians and in the beauty industry, that's what we are taught, is completely being safe and healthy and clean. And you just have to reassure your clients that, I never force anyone. If you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable, but just know that you will be safe in my room, because I take that precaution. And people seem to be okay with that. They seem to be okay with it. So far, so good. I know I probably will run into a few people who are hesitant, but it's okay. I completely understand. And you kind of just got to ride the wave and make the best of it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, can you give some examples of what you'll be doing to protect yourself and protect the clients?
Yeah, so I usually do my facials without gloves because, you know, obviously to me and my clients, it feels much better and more relaxing.
Yeah.
I will start, you know, wearing gloves instead. I'm going to start having to wear, I have like a esthetician, you know, cape. I'll wear that every day. It gets sometimes hot, but it's okay for the safety, you know, you put up with it. We now have face shields that we can wear. That way, you know, I'm always wearing a facial mask. But other than that, you know, just being extra sanitary. I know it's tempting to like touch your phone and take a photo or something in the middle. But, you know, you just got to avoid everything at all costs and just specifically focus on your client and getting the job done and getting it done right.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
So now, any advice for our viewers that are watching now? You know, you mentioned, okay, having a business plan, anything else that they can do to prepare, they're thinking about starting their beauty business in these times?
Yeah, I know it's scary, so I would just say, like, put all your fears and worries aside during this time and just really express yourself. You know, don't be scared to show who you are through your business. Like, this is your time to reset, reevaluate, you know, meditate on who you are, finding who you really are, and putting that towards, you know, your biggest goal in life to some people, and that's starting a business. And I know it's scary, but just go for it. You know, have a notebook on the side of your bed. Whenever you get a thought, like, write it down. Good thoughts, you know, all thoughts are good thoughts. So you should write them down because you never know. Like, maybe one day from now you're like, hey, that's actually a good idea. I'm going to actually go through with it, you know?
Yeah. And
so,
one of the biggest concerns that new business owners, new entrepreneurs have is like, okay, where do I find my clients? How do I build up my client base? And with your experience, you know, getting so many clients so quickly, getting pretty much fully booked so quickly, how did you do it?
I was completely myself. Let me tell you, I was just myself. Like, I told myself, if it's like the law of attraction, you know, you attract what you give in this life. And so I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to stop being shy. I'm going to start hiding. I'm going to just be Drea, and I'm going to let people know what I know. I'm going to give people advice. I'm going to help them with their problems, their confidence. And people just feel comfortable, you know, people really feel comfortable. So I would say, don't be scared to be yourself just because it's not like everybody else. It doesn't have to be like everybody else.
So did you get yourself out to certain, like, I don't know, networking events or special groups, or was it, you know, just hanging out with friends and family? Like, hey, I'm an esthetician, I can do this for you. Like, how did you promote yourself?
Well, I'm like a walking billboard. And my mom is as well. Like, she was she's like my prodigy through this all. But I personally, I just love speaking to people. So I would, you know, have my business cards, and I would, you know, let them know. Like, I would hear them say, like, oh, this eczema is itching me. I'm like, hey, like, I can
business card. Bam.
Yeah, like, I can fix that for you. But honestly, just a lot on Instagram. Instagram is like the biggest blessing right now, because
it's really good.
You can post whatever, anything you want.
So you found customers, clients, like right on Instagram. So what would that be like? So you would post something explaining eczema or explaining acne, and then they would DM you or comment below. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I would, I'm so prideful of my work. So I would post my work, and I would, you know, explain the procedure. And I guess it's the way that I presented the
Yeah.
procedure. I would always get questions, and I would always make sure at the bottom, to ask, feel free to DM me with any
Yeah.
questions. And I think that really, really helped, because when you get people, that's already the first step, getting them into the door is having questions. They're obviously curious about it. And right then and there, you hit them with the truth and the facts, and they're either gonna like it or they're not.
Yeah.
And most of the time they like it. So
Yeah. I love what you're doing, because like from the viewer standpoint, you're very transparent. B, you positioned yourself as an expert, right? By not being afraid of showing your work, but also explain the process and accepting questions. So then it elevates you to another level. So yeah, I love what you're doing, because a lot of people, not even a lot, but a handful of people, every so often I would hear like, oh, I'm afraid of giving away my secrets. Trust me, we have the internet. There's no secrets.
no secrets. We
Right?
know
There's
everything.
no secrets.
Literally, we know everything.
Yeah, if someone really wanted to figure it out, they really wanted to learn, they can always Google it. They can always, watch YouTube videos. They can always learn about it in many other ways. But if you're the one providing the content and is going a step further and saying, let me teach you, let me share my information, let me answer your questions, now that builds more trust. So I love what you're doing, and that's essentially, you're growing your business organically through education, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Anything
Yeah,
else that has been working really well other than Instagram? Do you use any of the other social media platforms, or any other marketing?
I tried Facebook for a little while. I'm not really much on it, but what was that app? I think, I tried LinkedIn. LinkedIn was pretty okay. But honestly, Instagram, I just feel like Instagram, everybody just wants to see something aesthetically pleasing. And I'm such a visual person, so Instagram is so perfect. But definitely I would say, don't be scared to network. Don't be scared to, talk to people about your skills, because that helps a lot too. When people get to know you right off the bat, your first impression is everything. And that person can refer you to 20 other people just because you were, you hit them with some facts, and you weren't scared to approach them. Some people appreciate that.
Yeah. And that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your knowledge, experience, and your time here. Now, how can our viewers reach you?
They can find me on Instagram, Dreaesthetic, DRESTHETIC. And you guys can shoot me a direct message. I will be open and available to answer any questions anyone has.
Nice. Awesome. And if you didn't catch all that, no worries. It's going to be in the resource area and also in the show notes. So you can always find that info there. So again, Andrea, thank you so much for your time. And viewers, hope you enjoy the show. See you next time.
Yeah. Thank you, David. Have a great day.
Bye.